Welcome students. This video session is for the student of standard 11th and the subject is biology. I will start the second unit of biology. The name of the second unit is structural organization in plants and animals. In this video, we will study about the external as well as internal structure of plants and animals. The unit comprises three chapters. Chapter 5, Morphology of Flowering Plants. Chapter 6, Anatomy of Flowering Plants. And Chapter 7, Structural Organization in Animals. So, today we are going to start Chapter 5 of NCERT book, that is Morphology of Flowering Plants. Morphology of flowering plants. The word morphology refers to the external structure and external form of the organism. May it is a plant or an animal. So, in this chapter, we are going to study about the external feature and external structure of flowering plants, that is an angiospermic plants. Angiosperms show differences in morphology. Various examples of angiospermic plants are there and you can simply differentiate between them. The leaves of the plants are different, the stem type, the color of leaves is different, they have different flowers, different types of fruits. So they show varied differences in their external features and forms. In this chapter, we are just going to study about those differences and the characteristics. Plant parts basically can be divided in vegetative parts and reproductive parts. In lower classes, you have studied differences in plant parts as root system and shoot system. Apart from that classification, we have also classified plants in vegetative parts and reproductive parts. On a broad basis, vegetative parts are the parts of the plant which have functions other than reproduction. These are the plant parts which perform various functions which is other than reproduction. Vegetative parts include like stem, root, leaves, flowers. No, flowers are not the vegetative parts. Flowers are reproductive parts of a plant. So, vegetative parts are the parts which are not involved in reproduction. They perform other functions like growth, absorption of nutrients, etc. And reproductive parts are the parts of the plant which are either directly or indirectly involved in the process of reproduction. So, roots, stem, leaves are the vegetative parts of the plant. First of all, we will study about the root. We will study about the structure and modifications of root of an angiospermic plant. Roots are the parts of the plant that generally grow under the ground. This is the characteristic of root. The second characteristic, it is the non-green part of the plant. Leaves are generally green part of the plant. Sometimes and at some stages of life, stem also contains chlorophyll and that's why it is green in color. But roots never contain chlorophyll. Some exceptions are there obviously that we will study about them in the section of modification of root. But in general cases, roots lack chlorophyll and hence these are non-green part of the plant. Also, the next characteristic of root is that these lacks nodes and internodes. Nodes and internodes are the characteristic of stem. So, root lacks nodes and internodes. The root develops from the radical part of the seed. A seed has two parts, radical and plumule, that we have studied in class 10th about in dicot seeds. So plumule develops as stem and radicle develops as root. Roots develop from radicle. It goes deep down the earth, and the function of root that it provides anchorage and support to the plant. It helps the plant to stand in the root. So it fixes the plant in the soil, provides support and anchorage, and also the other function that it helps in absorption of water with the special structure present in it called root hairs. So with the help of root hairs, roots help to absorb water and minerals. So these are the characteristics and functions of root. Now we will study about the types of root. Roots are basically of three types: taproot, fibrous root and adventitious root. Taproot are generally found in the most of dicot plants. Here the radicle develops as primary root. You can see over here the radicle grows down as a main primary root. The primary root gives rise to numerous secondary roots as branches, and from branches tertiary roots may arise. See here, this is the primary root. The secondary root arises from primary root and tertiary root arises from the secondary root. So this is an example of taproot where the radicle grows as the main thick root as primary root, then secondary and tertiary root. This root system is called taproot system and is found in most of dicot plants. The second type of root is called fibrous root. It is found in monocot plants. It is the characteristic of monocot plants. Here the primary root is short-lived. It is replaced just after the stem by a large number of roots. All the root branches are similar. Now there is no differentiation of primary, secondary and tertiary roots. All the branches of root are having almost the same thickness and length. As you can see the difference in taproot and fibrous root. Here we can see a main branch from which other branches are arising. Here, as the stem ends, all the branches of root arises at the same time. Here the primary root just gets replaced by a large number of roots that originate from the base of the stem. All the roots here are similar more or less in thickness and are not differentiated in primary, secondary and tertiary root. So it is called fibrous root. It is a characteristic of monocot plants. The third type of root is called adventitious root. Generally it looks like fibrous root. It is the type of root which arises from part other than radicle. These two roots, taproot and fibrous root, develops from radicle, but adventitious root is a type of root which arises from other part than radicle. So there are three types of root: taproot, fibrous root and adventitious root. Reasons or areas of the root. Following are the different areas or reasons of the root. Basically, a root has been divided into four reasons, you can say. The first reason is called the root cap. It is present at the tip of the root. The tip of the root is covered by root cap. It is a capping which is present to protect the soft and tender tip of root which is moving inside the soil facing friction. Since roots grow downwards through the soil facing the friction, to protect the tender and soft cells of root tip, it is covered by root cap. So this is the first reason of the root. The second part is called reason of meristematic activity or meristematic zone. This is the area of root where repeated cell division takes place, as this area is having meristematic cells, meristematic tissue that we have studied in lower classes. All those meristematic tissues are present in this areas, and that's why there is a repeated cell division takes place. The cells are small, thin walled and have dense protoplasm and are engaged in repeated division. So this is the area called region of meristematic activity. After that part is called region of elongation or elongation zone. Here the cells present undergo rapid elongation. The meristematic region develops new cells, and those new cells show rapid growth and elongation, which results in increase in the root length. So basically this part of root is responsible for the growth of root in terms of length. So this is called region of elongation. After the area of elongation, that is region of elongation, the last part of root is there, which is called region of maturation. Here the cells present are mature and are differentiated. Differentiation is done and the cells undertake various functions. The cells become mature over here. Also, this is the part from where root hairs arise. Root hairs are very fine, delicate structures which arise from root, and these are formed of epidermal cells. These root hairs are specialized to absorb water and mineral from the soil. These emerge out from region of maturation and just spread in soil and absorb water and minerals from soil. So the region of maturation is the part from where root hairs arise. So basically we studied that root has been divided in 4 basic regions. The very first is the area of root cap, which covers the tender and soft tip of the root. After that is the region of meristematic activity, having small thin cells which are engaged in repeated division. After that, region of elongation, where cells elongate, grow rapidly, and after that region of maturation, where cells are matured and differentiated. This is the region from where the root hairs, which are the structure formed of epidermal cells, arise. These root hairs help in absorption of water and minerals from the soil. So these are the reasons of the root. Now we will study about the modification of root. Modification means change in shape and structure of plant part to perform functions other than its main or basic functions. Sometimes plant parts change their shape and structure and they take up some other activity. Sometimes along with its main activity, and sometimes they leave their main activity and take up some other activity. And to perform those activities, their shape and structure may change. So such changes are called modification. Here we are going to study about different modifications of root. Roots are modified to perform various functions. Like sometimes roots are modified to store food. Sometimes they are modified to provide extra support to the plant. Sometimes for respiration, sometimes even for photosynthesis, and so on. Here we will discuss about the modifications for storage of food, for providing support, and for respiration. So first we will start about the modification of root for storage of food. Roots are sometimes modified for storage of food. Since the food is stored inside the root, sometimes the change in shape is obvious. The modification of root develops different shapes of root. Inside the tap root, due to storage of food, the modifications change it in three types of form. So taproot show three types of modification for storage of food. The very first is called fusiform. This is the type of modification where root changes its shape, becomes thick at middle and narrow at both the ends. This is called fusiform, where roots are thick at middle and narrow at both the ends. The very common example is radish. The second is called conical. In this case, the root is broader at base and gradually tapers at other end. It is gradually tapering down. One end is broader and the other end is like conical. The example here is carrot. The third example of taproot modification is called napiform. In this condition, the root becomes spherical, oval or top shaped. The example is turnip and beetroot. Adventitious roots also modify for storage of food. The very common form is called tuberous. Here the roots show irregular shape, sometimes spherical, sometimes oval, sometimes cylindrical. And the example here is very common sweet potato. So these are some common modifications of root for storage of food. Fusiform, example radish. Conical, example carrot. Napiform, example turnip and beet. And tuberous, example sweet potato. The second modification is for support. The roots are sometimes modified for support. Basically, it is in the plants which are very tall and very big plants, big trees. Such type of modifications are generally found over there. It is also generally found in the case of adventitious root. The very first example is prop root. Prop roots are pillar-like adventitious roots arising from the branches. These are arising from the branches, and that's why these are adventitious roots. These are arising from the branches and going downwards. When these reaches the soil, they go deep inside the soil also. So these make, along with the main stem, these make some pillar-like support. You can find these pillar-like or rope-like structures emerging out from the branches of banyan tree. It is found in banyan tree. Various rope-like structure you can find around the main trunk of the tree. These are actually the prop roots which are arising from the branches and going inside the soil to provide support to that very big plant, very big tree. The second example is stilt root. Stilt root arises from the lower node. You can see this is the stem having these nodes. Now this is the lowermost node and various branches, various roots are arising from the nodes of the stem. Again, that's why it is adventitious roots, because the root is arising from the node of the stem and these are going inside the root, the soil, providing the support to the plant. This example can be seen in the plant of sugarcane and maize. So Roots are modified for support in case of prop root, example is banyan tree, and stilt root, example is sugarcane and maize. The next type of modification is found for respiration. Sometimes roots are modified for respiration. Such type of roots are present in mangroves. Basically, mangroves are the plants that grow in marshy areas, marshy lands. Here, the soil is filled up with water. Since the marshy plants are not able to get enough air, air is not present inside the soil, so the roots grow upwards. You can see over here, roots grow upwards and emerge out above the ground to get oxygen for respiration. Such roots are called pneumatophores. If you look at the plants, you will see that around the plants several small branches are coming. So these are not new plants growing out, but these are the roots of that single plant which have grown upwards to get enough oxygen for the process of respiration. Such type of roots are called pneumatophores, and these are found in mangroves like Rhizophora, etc. So these are the modifications of root for various purposes. So students, let's summarize the topic once again. Let's have a brief recap what we studied in today's session. We studied about root. Following are the characteristics of root that we discussed. Roots grow underground generally. Exceptions are there. During various modifications, root may grow above the ground, but in a general concept, root grows under the ground, away from the light, towards the gravity. Root develops from radicle. Again, exception is adventitious root. Adventitious roots are exceptions which grows from any other part than radicle. These do not grow from radicles, but in a general, roots develop from radicle. There is roots lack nodes and internodes. Nodes and internodes are absent in roots. Root is the non-green part of the plant. At no time of its life, root contains chlorophyll. Again, in modifications, some roots may contain chlorophyll, that we will be discussing later on. Root provides support and anchorage to plant. Its main function is to provide support and anchorage to plant. It keeps the plant fixed in the soil. Root helps in absorption of water and minerals. With the help of a special structure called root hairs present in them, root helps in absorption of water and minerals from the soil. So these are the characteristics of the root that we discussed. Then we discussed about the types of root. Now we know that roots are of three types. The very first one is taproot, where the radicle develops, grows as the primary root, and from primary root various secondary and tertiary roots emerge. The second type is fibrous root. Fibrous root is found in monocot plants. Taproot is an example of dicot plants. Fibrous root is an example of characteristic of monocot plants. In fibrous root, the radicle is short-lived and soon it is replaced by several similar branches. those branches are more or less similar in the thickness and in length, so we cannot find out any primary branch over there. It means that at the base of stem a bunch of root branches arises, making a fibrous structure where no branch can be identified as primary branch. So it is fibrous root. The third type of root is called adventitious root. In this case, roots develop from part other than radicle. Adventitious root is a type of root which develops from any other part than radicle. Then we discussed about different reasons of root. A root is covered by a root cap. The root cap protects the tip of root, the cells, the tender cells of root tip from friction. After the root cap, there is a region of meristematic zone which contains small and thin cells. These cells repeatedly divide and this zone is called meristematic zone. After that, elongation zone is present where cells grow, they elongate. After this zone, maturation zone is present where cell gets matured and differentiated. This is the zone from where fine root hairs arises which help in absorption of water and minerals. So these were the reasons of root. Root cap, meristematic zone, elongation zone and maturation zone. Then we discussed about modifications of root. Modification refers to change in shape and structure of plant part to take up any extra function which is not its basic functions. Roots are modified for various reasons, for various functions. Basically, here we are discussing about three functions. The very first, roots are modified for storage of food. When roots are modified for storage, these change their shape. In the first case, root is called fusiform, where root becomes thick at middle and narrow at both the ends. The example is radish. Second is conical, where root becomes broader at one end and gradually tapers towards the other end. This is called conical and example is carrot. Third is napiform, where root becomes circular and the example is sturdy. These three, fusiform, conical and napiform, are an example of taproot. The fourth one, that is tuberous, is an example of adventitious root. In this case, the root becomes irregular in shape, sometimes cylindrical, sometimes oval. So it is irregular in shape. An example is sweet potato. Roots are also modified for support. The first example is prop root of banyan tree, where roots arises from branch and goes downwards inside the soil to provide support to that very big tree. The second example is stilt root, where roots arise from the nodes of the last stem part. The last node of a stem, roots arises and they spread in soil to provide support. A good example is sugarcane. Roots also get modified for the process of respiration, especially in mangroves, the plants which grow in marshy land. In this condition, roots grow in upward direction around the main plant and comes out of the soil to get oxygen. Example, Rhizophora. So students, this is the summary of the topic that we discussed today. I hope you'll face no problem in understanding about root after watching this video. Now, I'm just providing you some questions for your assignment. Write down the answers. Watch the video carefully. You will get all the answers in the video itself. So, these are the questions. Students, these are your assignment questions based upon the video session of today. Try to write down the answers of these questions. The very first question, what are the functions of root? You have to write down the functions of root, point wise. Second, how root is modified for storage of food. You will name different types. You will, write down what is its characteristic, and you will give examples also. Third question, draw a well-labeled diagram to show different reasons of root. You have to show different reasons of root and you have to label it. Fourth question, what are pneumatophores? You will write down what are pneumatophores and you will give examples also. And the last one, differentiate between taproot and fibrous root. So, these are the questions for your assignment. Thank you.